Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we're going to be talking about a topic, a DAX topic that I'm sure somebody has covered it before. I just can't recall anything that I've ever read about it, and it comes up from time to time. Um, I'm sure somebody's covered it, but it doesn't get covered very often in the DAX literature, as far as I'm aware. And I'm pretty aware of a lot of DAX literature that's out there. So today we're going to be talking about what we're going to be talking about is called I call them table variants. Okay. And I don't even know if there's like a proper term for this. This is just what I call them. But we're going to get into it. And it came from Bernardo Reinha. I probably butchered that name. But he asked me, sent me a personal email, and he had DAX for Humans. He was working through some problems, whatever. He wanted to get some advice on how to solve these things. So I helped him out, and this is the result of this. Now, what we have to start with here is just a pretty simple star schema. So we got our fact table, we got a company ID, we got this category dimension, customer dimension, date dimension. And the way this started off was, hey, how do I do like a the distinct customers for the last 2 years, right? So it started off with a pretty typical DAX calculation, right? Distinct count last 2 years. So basically what we're doing, we're grabbing the dates that we want for the last 2 years. So he's using offsets, good for him. That's what you should be doing in date tables. But he has a current year offset column right there. So you filter the date table by the current year offset column, where the current year offset column is -1 or -2, right? So and that's a table constructed there, -1, -2, and you get the dates that are for the last 2 years, okay? That's what that first line's doing. And you're returning just the date column. That's also important. Because now what you do in the fact table is you filter the fact table where the date is in that collection of dates, right? Now you can get the customers out of that by doing a select columns on the customer ID, get that column. Then you do a distinct and you count the rows, right? Pretty classic, no calculate approach. This is the this is the pattern that you'll see repeated throughout the book, DAX for Humans, because it's the way that you can solve just about any DAX problem. All right, so now what came out of this though is, well, Greg, what if I want to like filter this for like specific categories for different companies? Okay, so there's like three companies, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and for each of those companies, there's different categories that I want to filter for. Okay, so what I did, so the way that works is this way. And so essentially, for example, so 1,000 categories, I just picked like as a test case, LB001. So what's different about this one, the first line is exactly the same, right, as in the last calculation. Then you get the max company ID, right, which gives us our company. Then I create the three tables basically. The 1,000 categories is just LB001, 2,000 categories are LB001 and LB002, and 3,000 categories are LB002. I just picked those for just whatever it is. And I hard coded them because it's a demo, and you can make it dynamic if you want to. All right, so now the next one is the fact rows, right? I'm still filtering the fact table where the date is in the dates, right? So that part's pretty much the same. Now I construct a table variable. And this is where things get interesting. So I do a switch statement on my company. If it's 1,000, I filter the fact rows where the LB is in the 1,000 categories. If it's 2,000, I filter it by the 2,000 categories. Oh, and I have a mistake here, but that doesn't really change anything of what this should be 3,000 categories. All right. So anyway, so you do this and you don't get an error in this table variable at all. Okay, in just logically thinking, right? You know, you're setting a variable, and in variables you can do if statements, right? You can say if this is A, then return 1, otherwise return 2. You can return different values for these variables because they're really just constants, right? So you're just returning a constant thing at the end of it. And you can do, logic expressions in order to return different things depending on different conditions. And just by doing the table variable and not getting any errors or anything out of it, you would think, oh, it works the same for tables. Well, DAX is like, no, 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 no. Stop right there. Stop what you're doing. You're not doing this correctly. You're not allowed to do that. You know, and I'm thinking, well, where's it written, DAX, that I'm not allowed to do this, right? And DAX is like, well, it's not written down anywhere, but you're still not allowed to do it. And where it shows up is in the next, when you try to use that table variable, okay? And so now you do a select columns and do an underscore underscore table, and you get the little red squigglies, right? And what the error you'll get is parameter is not the correct type. Parameter is not the correct type. And then it can't find the name customer ID, right? So basically what's happening here is that I don't know what type it is because in all cases it returns a table, right? And the table variable is the first thing that you feed into the select columns. But what it doesn't like, what DAX does not like, it does not like these having a variable be different, have a different table returned based on different conditions, right? Apparently it hates it, okay? It doesn't allow you to do it. And this creates problems. Like this creates, you have to do workarounds to get around this problem. Like if DAX supported this, and I don't know why it doesn't, and if somebody wants to like chime in and comment on like, well, Greg, it's documented here in the DAX, you know, here's the DAX technical reference document, and it says right here you're not allowed to do this stuff. Whatever, I'd love to see it, but again, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. So anyway, the workaround, because you can't return a different table depending on conditional logic, right, is you have to do stuff like this. So here's one way to solve this problem. So everything's pretty much the same, but now I go in my switch statement, and if it's 1,000, well, then I do a fact. I do my filter on my 1,000 categories. I then, select the customers, and then result, I do the count rows distinct customers right there. And it's the same for 2,000 customer, 2,000 company and 3,000 company. It's the same exact code. Basically, I'm just, what the table that I'm working with is different depending on which company I'm in, right? My filter conditions for my fact table, underscore fact. So, but because I'm returning a scalar and not a table, then it's okay that, this distinct count is different from this distinct count or that distinct count, right? So anyway, it's an interesting topic that I just don't see covered a lot in DAX literature. I call it table variants, right? DAX doesn't like you having variants, of a table, that are returned for a variable. It just doesn't like it. And I don't have an explanation as to why. To me, it would seem like, well, returning different tables is the same as returning different scalars, but according to DAX, that is not the case. So I'm sure there's an explanation out there somewhere. But again, I don't see this topic covered a lot, so I wanted to share it. This was an interesting, I've run across this a number of times, over the years, but I finally decided, well, this is, I've never covered this before, and I don't see it covered a lot, so figured I'd pass it along. So there you have it. That's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.